What's good, party people? This is the Woods and Wade podcast. I'm according to Woods. She's Claudia Wade, and we're talking about the American holiday of, as I like to affectionately call it, 4th of July's. But I guess people would say 4th of July, right? I think that's a thing.
Uh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, wait, 4th of July isn't a thing.
Four of lies. I don't know what you just said, but yeah, I don't know. I've never heard that be a thing.
I mean, no, I didn't say it was a thing. I just refer to it as such. You know.
Because
Because every year that that I've been able to talk and speak, it's 4th of July. So I feel like I need to switch it up a little bit.
oh,
I don't know.
well,
That's just me.
for some
It's-
reason I felt like there was some racism in there
But
when you
I'm
said
racist
something of
against a
lies.
holiday.
No, not you, but there's some sort of racism within the holiday.
If you look,
What do you mean?
I mean, if you look, far enough,
I
you
mean,
can.
there is plenty
There's racism in
everything,
what is it? Like what is it, religion and anti-religion and
everything.
everything, politics, anti-politics. If you look far enough, you can fucking tinfoil hat and connect the dots like one of those I don't know, I feel like serial killer, that's it, where they have the thing on the wall and they have the string and they pinpoint like who their next victim is or whatever.
I've always not a serial killer, but I've always wanted to have a reason to do that. Like, I don't know, search for my shoes, whatever.
Okay.
But like, I've always wanted to like bring out like all this stuff.
What has been preventing you from doing such a thing?
I don't have any drama like that. To
I don't know. You can do it with
I don't
anything.
need to search for anyone. I don't. I'm not trying to murder anyone.
I mean,
I'm
yeah,
not. I know where my husband is 20 most of the time.
most of the time. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the times that I don't know, then I just don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
I just don't know what's going on.
Okay.
So, and he comes back fast enough for me not to bring up the board,
Okay.
the map. So,
Yeah. Well, maybe just maybe you can attach fireworks to this display thingy manifesto and not burn the house down.
I didn't do fireworks this year. Did
You
you do
didn't?
fireworks?
Which I mean, you didn't have to look very far in the places that I was.
I
Um,
live in Inglewood. We didn't have to look anywhere. It was fucking everywhere. It was
that's
so
what I'm
annoying.
saying. So I
Like,
spent the first part of the 4th of July's at a barbecue with my cousins and
mhm.
friend and the missus and everything, right? And then from Inglewood we went to South Central to my brother-in-law's place and
Which
more.
is probably even more cracking than out here.
Yes, absolutely.
We went
So,
to El Segundo.
huh?
We left Inglewood and went to El Segundo.
Yeah, that doesn't strike me as a fireworky place.
No, it wasn't. But they have a really good fireworks show at their park. And so we got there 11ish, hung out, had food, and then they had like pie eating contest, watermelon eating contest.
That's racist.
I don't even watermelon. I said, why is that racist? It was a
I
bunch of
don't.
white
Well, I
people eating
mean, I
watermelon.
guess in this country, right? There were the way the people that would dress in blackface, right? And not just like in silent movies, but also in advertisements, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a watermelon, whatever, and then like keep the N words away, and it's a depiction of either watermelon or fried chicken or some sort of weird thing.
Well, if you're black, you're just stuck to eating watermelon and fried chicken,
I mean,
right?
I do like such a thing.
I don't like watermelon. My husband doesn't like watermelon.
Okay, that's. I mean,
We
that's.
just don't. Our dog loves it.
You give watermelon to the dog?
Yeah, for sure. She loves watermelon.
Okay.
You don't give watermelon to your dog?
No, it's like
Why?
because I eat it for me and the kids
Dogs
and
love
the
watermelon,
missus.
and it's good for them because it's a lot of water. So when it's hot, they stay hydrated.
Yeah, no, 100%. Same thing
I
with
buy
like.
like this tiny little watermelon because I don't. Why buy a tiny more?
What did
I
she say?
buy like I love
See,
watermelon.
yeah. If I gave the watermelon to the dog, she'd be like, "What the hell are you doing? Wasting the good watermelon."
They eat watermelon. It's good for
Yeah,
them.
so do we. There's like, I mean, yes, I love a
I
dog,
mean,
but
technically, there's no benefit to you because it's just
water.
water.
I'm sweating right now, like
So
right
drink some
now in a
water.
watermelon. How about I do both? Get them water
I
and
don't
then
like any kind of melon. I don't do watermelon. I don't do honeydew. I don't do the yellow ones and the orange ones and the green ones and whatever color melons they are.
okay.
Cece does none of those.
She doesn't like the watermelon
Nope.
or any melons.
Any melons at all.
I mean, I feel like your husband might.
He does not like watermelon.
There's a melon like no, you might never mind. It's gone. But also
His
look.
wife doesn't have melons.
I, I mean,
I
okay.
wonder if his wife did eat melons, would she have melons? But she doesn't.
I don't know. I mean, I've
She's
also
poor.
seen
She's we're
those.
poor in that category.
I've seen those. Was it maternity pictures?
Yeah.
Right.
I
Or
wasn't that I wasn't that lucky.
lucky that you didn't have a watermelon piece like painted on you.
Oh no. I was saying that I wasn't that lucky to get watermelon boobs like everybody else.
Oh yeah, we that was the fork in the road, and we both went different
We sure
directions.
did.
Oh, Claudia, I'm just saying. Yeah, no,
Well, I don't, Mary.
I don't have water. I mean, I've got moobs, but I mean that is
I don't.
something that it comes and
I
goes.
I was like maybe 7 years ago. I was way bigger than what I am now. And I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
So I will show you later after this how big I was.
Okay.
But I was actually like, and not that this isn't every business, but I was like a double D or a D boobs
Okay.
because I was really big. But I'm like 4'11, so I look like a little Oompa Loompa, right?
I was gonna let you have that one until I was just like I
But
pictured
it's
it,
true, right? Like I'm
and,
a
and the
4'11.
and the fucking but the song was in my head, and I was like, anywho,
No, but I don't. The Oompa Loompa thing, I'm not really mad at.
okay, you're
But
not mad at Oompa.
there was a dude that used to. Did you watch Dinosaurs?
The I'm the baby, gotta love me. I poop
Uh
in
huh.
pants whenever I
Not
want
the
to.
mama. They're not the
Yeah,
mama.
that's the same thing.
Yeah.
You're
So
saying
this guy used to call me that. Like I
who?
was a baby dinosaur.
Wow,
And
that's wild.
that fucking pissed me off. That I wanted to like murder this dude every time he said it. Until I
I
was
feel
like, look,
that's
bro, you're about to get your ass fucking whooped and thrown up.
I
I
feel
don't know
that's
where
right.
I'm gonna throw you off, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
find a way to throw you off something.
I mean, I think that's fair. I feel that
No, yeah.
that's
So
fair.
that the Oompa Loompa, it's funny because it's just funny, but not the mama. That was not funny. That was
Okay.
rude.
Yeah. Um.
But
uh,
anyway, so
have
yeah,
you
I know.
have you? Well, first off, look, we both have all of our fingers, right? And I feel
Mhm.
like somebody that woke up on July 5th
Doesn't.
probably were like,
There's a
yeah,
lot of people.
yeah, 100%.
I remember the year before last, Eric fucked up his fingers, his hand.
Really?
Yeah, he's in the hospital because he fucked up his fingers.
with
on the 4th of
fireworks.
July. Yeah, dude, some dumb shit. And he
That's
was like, look, he
that's
sent
what
me
he.
pictures, and I was like, oh my god, dude, this guy, you're gonna miss his
He was
finger.
probably trying to be cool, Tio, to Cindy's, his
His
niece.
niece.
Yeah, it's like,
I
wow,
don't know
look what
what
I
the
could
hell he
do.
was trying to do. Just didn't
I
work out.
I mean, I feel like he created a memory. Now, which way the memory goes, that's you know,
It goes the
um,
wild way because, well, I mean, it's a memory. Everybody remembers him fucking up his hand.
there you go.
So, wait, I gotta plug in. I didn't think my battery was this dead.
Uh oh. In
I'll
terms
sit
of,
here.
do you have any like, what was your first memory of 4th of July?
I don't know. I mean, I've always done 4th of July, right? Like, I'm a holiday person. I love holidays.
Mm.
Um, but I don't think I have a specific memory of the 4th of July.
The first 8 years of my life were in San Francisco for the most part, right?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds at the time we were in Fiji, right? So, with that being said, we would always go to like the pier and the like, not the marina. We didn't have a marina in San Francisco, but like where my
San
dad.
Francisco doesn't have a marina.
I don't. I mean, not that I remember calling it because we had like. So my dad played at Fisherman's Wharf in front of the cannery, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there was, if you go like further down, right? And so like one side it would be like Pier 39, and then you come a little bit more down, right? And then you got like Ghirardelli Square, where Ghirardelli
Mm-hmm.
chocolate and what have you, which my dad also played right before we left. I think maybe a year or two before we left.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he played. They moved from the cannery to Ghirardelli Square, and they were the first. Him and his saxophone player Yilm were the first live band to play at Ghirardelli Square. Which,
Mm-hmm.
funny enough, like I actually met Miles Davis there. Like, yeah, it was
Nice.
wild. Yeah, dude, and he was like full on like. I mean, this had to be early '90s, like so. He was like right. It was right before he passed away,
Mm-hmm.
but like perm. Well, not perm. It was like a straightened hair, Jerry curl ish thing. He had both things going on, and
Mm-hmm.
like a
Like
burgundy.
waves.
Not even waves, man. If you let me see if I can pull up a picture because like during this era, like this was him. He would wear like big like Easy E
Mm-hmm.
glasses and then have that hairstyle and like have a burgundy uh like a like a burgundy leather like sweatsuit.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that it was during that period where like he just randomly showed up and apparently he and my dad had played like some gigs, like
Mm-hmm.
so he knew my dad and whatever, and then my dad introduces me to him, and I didn't, there was a lot of people like in retrospect my dad introduced me to like that, he either played with or heard of the band or whatever. San Francisco was like you had like what's it Robin Williams, the
Mm-hmm.
guys from Journey, Metallica. Um, there was so many, like Bobby McFerrin, Don't Worry, Be Happy. There were so many people in and around that Bay Area kind of artist scene that,
Mm-hmm.
like our county fairs, like Journey would play or, you know. Um, so, yeah. So I just remember him kind of talking to me in very, very low, like a low tone.
A low tone.
Yeah, and he was just intense. Like still to this day, one of the most intense people I've ever like been around, and that's my Miles Davis. And then like never saw him again. Yeah,
Oh wow,
yeah, but he was just intense, man.
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see,
I don't think I've ever. I don't think I've ever met anyone either. I mean, besides soccer players,
Okay.
like I don't think I've met like a musician or nothing. I don't think. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. No one.
Um.
I don't. I really have not. I've never met like. I met that Blueface guy because my nephew knew who.
I. I
But
don't.
like
There's a guy whose face is blue. Isn't
his
that the
name is.
guy?
There's a guy. We were going to Kentucky, and there's a guy at the airplane, and my nephews were like, "That's Blueface. That's who the fuck is Blueface? Why is his name Blueface? Like, what is going on
Was
here?"
his face blue, or is that just his?
His face was really tatted.
He tatted his face blue.
Yeah, like, look him up.
No,
Apparently,
I'm good. I,
apparently they're like really
Dom.
toxic. It was he and his girlfriend, and so I came up to him
Okay.
because my nephew was like, "I want to talk to him, I want to talk to him," but I'm kind of shy, and I was like, "Excuse me, Mr. Blueface."
Mr. Blueface.
I'm such a fucking old person. I was like, "Look, I don't know you. I'm too old to know you. My nephew definitely wants to know. No, you know, he just wanted to say hi." And he was like, "Oh, hey." He was a really nice guy, like really sweet guy, but apparently he's a social media person. He and his girlfriend are really toxic.
Okay.
Like they've gotten caught on TMZ fighting, like fist fighting, throwing
Wow.
punches at each other, and like I don't know.
Did
I
it?
guess
Did any of her punches knock the blue out of his face?
I don't know. I don't think so. But
Damn it.
apparently they're a toxic couple that's really popular,
Okay.
and I guess he's also a rapper. I'm not sure. But anyway, the point everybody knew who he was because we sent a pic. I sent a picture to my cousins because we have a cousins group chat, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's," and his mom, my nephew's mom,
Mm-hmm.
FaceTimed with him because she's a nurse, and I guess his girlfriend is pregnant. And he was super funny. He was like, "Are y'all gonna? You guys are gonna? What did he say? You guys gonna deliver my baby? Are you guys gonna deliver my baby?" And he was all like, and all the girls were all excited because they were talking to him. They took a
That's
screen picture. It was hilarious. I was like, I don't know who's funny.
just the way that if that's what he actually sound like,
Yeah,
there's like
but
no
like you
chance
can
I would
tell
even
the
give a shit
difference.
about
Like
that guy.
you can tell the difference between that persona that he has to be, and then when we weren't on the phone or on the camera, he was like pretty chill. He was pretty. He was a pretty nice guy. I liked him.
Okay.
I mean, I've never looked him up after,
Yeah.
but he
I,
was really nice when we met him. I thought he was a sweetheart, but
I mean, the
his girlfriend kind
sweetheart
of looked
or
like a Fucci face. But yeah, he was so
had did you say a coochie face?
a Fucci face. She was
What
like
is a Fucci face? What I mean, now I feel like I'm older than you. What explain this Fucci face? I'm
Fucci
intrigued.
face is when you
Yes.
have like that mean mug face when you're like
Mhm.
that.
Like,
And
that's
you
Fucci
have like
face.
a stink ass face when your face is just stank.
Oh,
You know how people
stank.
say like you got a stink ass face.
Oh my god! Like all of the yeah,
All the
I
ghetto terms, yes.
yeah
One of those. Pick one.
I not that I ever did those, but I hung those out to
I'm
dry.
sure you have a stank face. Ask Mary. I'm sure you have one. I
Yeah,
guarantee you
I
have a
got
stank face.
hungry. I mean, I got hungry face. I got
Pretty
hungry
sure you
face.
make
I got angry. Like I got angry face, which
Jacob gets hangry face. Oh my Jesus. When he's hangry, there's no
yeah, no,
there's
same,
no going back.
dude. When I'm with my sister and we're both hungry, oh no, we're like whatever we have to do, like we're doing. One thing that she does is like if we're at a store, she doesn't give a shit. She'll like open it, whatever packaging of whatever the fuck, and then take it to the register.
Yeah. I
Um,
do that all the time with my kids.
I there was I feel I can't remember which parent it was, like my mom and my dad, but I remember when I was young or whatever, and they were like, "Don't do that ever," and it was more of the fact like people. would think that you're stealing, right?
Yeah, I don't
And
give a shit.
no,
My
but I
kid wants
mean,
his chips. Do you want to hear my kid yell and scream at the top of
but
his lungs, or would you rather me open these chips?
so about that, right? We live in a country where I don't know, you could get shot by having a squirt gun, right? So
This is
like,
true.
yeah. So for me, I don't want to put that out there, right?
Hmm.
Also, like crazy enough, like at Home Depot in the Bay, I want to say maybe 6 weeks ago, there was a guy who was a loss prevention officer,
Hmm.
right? Was not an officer, but their loss LP guy, and he was trailing this lady who grabbed a fucking iPhone charger from the front, and she was taken to the back, and she went up. There's a big roll up door, that leads to where everybody stores shit, whatever. And she was jumping the fence or whatever. And then he goes, "Hey," whatever. And she turns around and shoots him and he dies. Yeah. So it's not just like the cops
But
type.
isn't that why they tell them just let them go? Like really, it's like there's no like you're here to stop them, but don't stop them because people are too fucking crazy nowadays.
I no, yes. That's a conversation that I have with almost everybody. And I don't want to be like overbearing with the message that I'm trying to get at. But yeah, I was like, between people losing their jobs, like imagine, right? You're, I don't know, teenage kid or an adolescent, right? And there's this thing called Twitter, and you could, interact with anybody, your favorite actor, actress,
Hmm.
comic book person, whatever the fuck, like whatever, right? And you're like, oh my god, like I want to be a programmer, and basically skew your whole education to that. Then you go to college and you do that deal and whatever, and you're like, I'm gonna fucking work for Twitter. And then you fucking graduate, and Twitter comes calling, and like, fuck, you work at Twitter. And then
Hmm.
Twitter gets sold, you get laid off, and you have no discernible skills in between wanting to work for Twitter, actually working for Twitter, and now you're in your mid 20s, and you're like, fuck.
I don't know how to do anything else.
Yeah, and there's not if you're a frog, there's not another lily pad to jump to, because Google's fucking laying off, and Microsoft is laying off, and like even
Hmm.
what San Francisco, right? It was regarded as you. Do you realize that we don't have it referred to as the Silicon Valley anymore? Have you noticed that?
No, I haven't because
They like
okay.
in news or whatever, they'll just say San Francisco. They won't say Silicon Valley.
Let me tell you, I didn't even know that San Francisco was Silicon Valley. I thought it was two different things.
No, I mean, so from San Francisco, and it wasn't always Silicon Valley. Um, Silicon Valley, I mean, the time that I was growing up was more like San Jose, and then, Santa Clara, where the now Niners Stadium is and shit
Hmm.
like that, Levi, right? So it wasn't until maybe the last, I'd say 10, 15 years that the tech companies, you know, just permeate not just what is regarded as Silicon Valley, but
Hmm.
also everything below it, right? So yeah, that's Silicon Valley. But like I've been like news articles or whatever, both print and stuff you watch. Like I get my shit on YouTube, right? So
Hmm.
like a 3 minute video, but they're like San Francisco, no longer Silicon Valley.
Hmm.
So that's the thing. So if you're that person, it's desperate. You got a $5,000 a month like in rent, whatever, and all your utilities, and you bought a Tesla. Ironically enough, it's the fucking guy of the car that you bought that
Right.
owns the thing that fired you. So what kind of fucking desperation is there? I have no idea. And you got fucking school loans, you got all that shit, right?
Yep.
So maybe fucking five-finger discounting of the ham or a fucking iPhone charger, that you're there, like you're there. you know, and
Yeah, definitely.
and that's
I mean,
one.
it sucks because it does get to that point at that point, right? Like people don't know how to deal with anything anymore. Everything's a thing. Everything is. mm, I mean, everything's a thing.
Everything's a thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. So yeah, in terms of like my like first, I mean the first firework anything, and I can't even remember if it was Fourth of July or Fleet Week, but like because my dad worked in front of the cannery, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the where they had like the fucking museum, like the ship museums or the Navy or the Air Force, that was just like a, I feel like it's across the street, but maybe a block and a half away.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's Golden. No, it's not Golden Gate Park. Golden Gate Park is where it's the park where the fucking Tanners were in the opening credits were Full House, right in front
Mm-hmm.
of the house, right. So it's not Golden Gate Park, but there's a park there, kind of beachy, but not California beachy. Like they would have like stones and shit like that. But
Yeah.
that park, no matter what um, holiday it was, there was just a fireworks show. So I just
All the time.
remember, yeah. Well, I mean, so like the two big ones were obviously Fourth of
Fourth
July
of July.
and then Fleet Week, which, oh my god, do you
What
know what?
is Fleet Week?
So it was when all of the, you know what? I don't actually fucking know, to be honest with you. No, 100%.
Okay.
The only thing that fucking mattered to me was the fucking Blue Angels, man. Do you know what they are?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. They used to do the fucking over the skies of San Francisco and whatever. And then they would sell
Mm-hmm.
these like little inflatable Blue Angel, jet, whatever. You know how they
Uh-huh.
have you know, at soccer games, right? Like those
Yeah.
little inflatable things, right? Or whatever. Every year. That was the thing that I
The little
needed to have.
clappers.
Yeah. No, it's not even the clappers. It's an inflatable like jet. Like they have inflatable. The dude with the stick. He has a bunch of inflatable, like knockoff like Mickey Mouse or whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but he would have a Blue Angels.
Angels.
Yeah, and every year that's like I didn't care how many that fucking popped or whatever the fuck, I had to have a Blue Angels. And then there was one fucking time that my dad actually sprung for money, and he was like they like you could actually meet the fucking Blue Angels and like get a card and have them sign it. My dad was like, okay, we're doing that this year. And I was just like fucking over the moon. And yeah, man, it was a great fucking memory, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Definitely core memory.
yeah, it's man, I hadn't thought about that in like fucking 30 years. Yeah, that was 30 years
That's
ago. It's wild. But yeah, so sorry, it was, oh, do you want me to play that?
No, what is it?
Okay, you said no. What is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to explain it first, or do you want it just to go through and then
Let's
explanation
go through
later?
it. Let's go through it.
Good. That brings me so much joy. So what that was, that was like the first incarnation of like fucking Jake Paul beating the shit out of athletes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, so
Apparently, he's not shit anymore, right?
he's what?
He's like done. Like no one cares about him anymore.
I don't know about that because he's fucking. I mean, I've got friends that work in production and whatever, and anytime he has a fight, they're, I mean, they're
They're
getting
there?
paid. They're
Oh,
getting paid. So
All
you
right.
know, that's unlike fucking Paul Heyman and ECW where you would get the check and the check didn't clear. No, their checks are fucking clearing, and there was a lot of zeros on them fucking checks. So something's working, right? So, but yeah, so that was Nate Robinson. Apparently, he played in the NBA, right?
Mhm.
And he was a freaking one of the first guys to do one of these exhibitions with Jake
He
Paul.
was the first one.
Yeah. And so I didn't know if he was the first or whatever, but he was talking all types of shit.
Mm-hmm.
All types of shit.
He got his ass whooped.
Yes. And that my favorite one out of all of them, right, was gonna shock the world, bro.
He got punched the fuck out.
Oh my god. I mean the NBA
I like how you find all those videos extremely funny. I don't get them. I don't even watch them. I skip them.
don't watch the memes?
Yeah, all those.
I
Everyone sends me memes like I am very interested in this shit, and I am not. Everyone. It's not just you. My cousins, my brothers. Everyone sends me all these memes, and then my brothers have the audacity to send me Spanish memes.
Oh,
And I have to
nice.
sit there and like decipher what the hell sometimes. And I just don't know.
Because you don't speak the whole Spanish. You speak the half of Spanish, I feel.
I speak some Spanish. Yeah. I speak a lot of Spanish, but I'm not like I don't get the innuendos. I don't get like the joke because I translate everything, I guess, literally, and I don't understand the joke because it's not like
Literal.
Yeah. So sometimes I'm just like,
That's why I just like people getting fucking dropped on my fucking neck. That's pretty self-explanatory. And I try to put music that this is the first time I've actually fucking explained it on air. So this is kind of like whatever. But essentially the artists that I pick, right, that I put the fucking shit to, because actually there's a little bit to it. So I almost got my fucking page fucking suspended on Instagram because I shared it, but apparently, and there's no way that I could have done, but it was copyrighted. So whoever shared it didn't give the original whatever. So I share it, and then I got a fucking strike. So so a way around that was you repurpose it. So so you could do one of two things, right? You could credit the person. So you'll see, like, if I want to use the original audio, I'll put courtesy of and whatever the fuck page it is, right? That saves me or whatever. But if I don't give a shit about the audio, I put a song that I know that I feel fits that fucking video. So, and also, you know, like it's artists that maybe I grew up with or whatever, or I'm currently listening to that I don't think a lot of people are talking about, right? So like there's one of those like fucking twirly whirly G-force fucking things that they have at the county fair, right?
And I hate those things. Those things that they
it was
murder.
So this thing, it didn't just go round and round, but it fucking tilted too, right? Fucking tilted, and then it tilted, and everybody fucking fell the fuck off. Okay, so horrific, right? But one song that I've been into and I really didn't appreciate, and an artist that I really didn't appreciate, you know, that like my parents listened to, and I just did, I was a fucking idiot. So I changed the channel or whatever the fuck. But James Ingram, are you familiar?
Who?
James Ingram?
James Ingram?
Yeah.
He sounds familiar. You sound muffled.
So he's I
There you
mean,
go.
what happened?
You sounded muffled for a hot second.
Oh no, that was Pugsley's barking. He's
Mm.
just sitting here. Like that.
Okay, so I think I have heard that person.
Yes. So I think they. No, that's People Bryson. I wanted to say he sings "Whole New World." That's actually People Bryson, another beat. Yeah. But James Ingram, he was.
Sings.
Yeah, he sings, and there's this song called I don't have the hurt. I don't have the heart. This
I don't
motherfucking
have
thing
the
is
heart.
a masterpiece.
I don't have.
You can't play it because you don't want to
Oh,
get
wait.
the copyright.
No. Hold on.
Yeah.
Wrong phone.
But if you listen to the fucking, it's so first off, straight off the bat, it's fucking
Wait, how do I
produced.
mute myself?
Huh? Mute yourself.
Hmm.
Here, I can mute you. There you go. So first off, oh wait, should I not talk while you're listening to it?
No,
or-
go ahead.
Okay. So
This is such an old video.
yeah. So it's got strings. It's got fucking. His voice is incredible. The piano, like, there's so much tension in the song, and it's not even a love song. It's like somebody that he doesn't have feelings for, or whatever the fuck, right? And he's trying to break it to her softly, or whatever. But it's just fucking epic, man. Like, it's so good. So good. Yo, King, what's up, brother? See? Mm-hmm. How it's lasting. Man. This yeah, you're back? All right. Oh wait, hold on. Wrong button.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I know that song.
Yes. But I mean, you get to the fucking chorus, and there's this fucking, I mean, for 90s, right? We're coming out of like Van Halen, whatever, right? The fucking solo on this goddamn thing is amazing. At the same time, his voice, it's like he hits this fucking note, and it's like he's reaching the fucking stratosphere.
Mm-hmm.
But it has everything that like a perfect song could be. You got,
And you put it on some dumb shit.
I mean, why not? How else is anybody gonna fucking hear about it?
Hi, Jamal.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So James Ingram, man. I mean, there's some.
So you took a great song, an
Yes.
amazing
Yes.
song,
Yeah.
and you put it on some dumb shit.
Yeah. 100%.
Do you hear my vacuum?
No.
Okay, good. It's doing its own thing.
But I mean, there's another one that I posted not too long ago, and it was.
You should be banned just for doing that, for screwing up songs.
No, why? What? I don't screw it up. Again, so like when Michael Jackson got the rights to the fucking Beatles catalog, right? He bought it, and that's like McCartney was like, "Oh, you should buy fucking old, songs and get the rights to them and whatever." And then Michael turned around and was like, Beatles, hell yeah. So you started hearing like Beatles songs on fucking car commercials and shit like that. So that's no different, right? Or like
No, it's completely different. Because
It
you
is-
put it on some dumb shit.
no, okay, a fucking burger. Like if it's a McDonald's,
Like, what is that other song? I just heard it today. You're no strangers to love. That.
yes,
Oh my god, what is
Yes.
that song called?
Never Gonna Give You Out, Rick Astley.
Yes, like that song. People ruined that song putting.
Rick Roll.
Yes, it get
But
fine.
that motherfucker has a whole
Fine.
different career now. Like, I mean, dude, I mean, Rick Astley, dude. Okay.
Is that his
So
name?
I
Rick
am
Astley?
pretty fucking obsessed with like rare cuts and gems and shit like that.
Oh, that's who he is now.
It looks like Rin Tin Tin with him.
What does he do now?
No, so he just played Glastonbury in somewhere in Europe, but it was like 70 fucking thousand people.
They call it Rick Rolled.
Yeah, I know, because he's Rick Astley. He got Rick rolled. It's like, oh, click on this for hot chicks, and then that'd be his ass. Like the early days of fucking YouTube. Yeah,
I know, but it's like
he's thankful for it because it brought his whole, and it's not that it's that like he was a one-hit wonder.
Mm-hmm.
There is a song that he did that I didn't even know that was him. It's like a soft ballad. I thought it was like John Cicada or some shit like that. And then I fucking yeah. There's this.
I used to like John Cicada.
After the waterfall. I don't know what the actual words of that song is, but that's the John Cicada song that I fucking know, man.
Wait,
Can
sing it
without you. Something. It's like I found the waterfall. That's probably not the fucking lyrics at all. I found something can't resist, can make it with the day with something. I don't know. Like I would.
Yeah, I know it's
whatever. I kind of know the melody, but
okay, we're gonna do this.
Okay.
So Jay makes fun of me because in Biggie, in what song is it called? Oh, God, what is that song called? Notorious B.I.G.
Big Papa?
No. In oh my God, what is that song? But I have it in the tip of my tongue.
I mean,
I think it's in Ready to Die.
Okay,
wait. In Ready to Die, looking for the song. It's called oh my God, it's like one of the most popular songs.
Hypnotize?
Juicy, I think it is.
Oh, yeah. See, I don't know the words to that. I know the fucking beat. I don't know the words.
Well, you know how there's this part where he's like, we pop champagnes every Thursday?
Yeah.
I used to think that it would say we pop champagnes every Thursday. And Jason was like, why would anyone pop champagnes every Thursday? I was like, I don't know. That's what I hear. I heard Thursday. He says thirsty. I was like, oh, that makes more sense.
Okay. I mean, there is a man, if you want to go down that wormhole, my goodness, like the fucking misheard lyrics. I remember like my sister and I, like Bananarama's Venus, right? Like, you're a penis, you're a fire, you're a desire. Like there's another one. Like now that I'm on the spot, I can't think of it, but there's a bunch of 80s fucking 90s songs that like
I have no idea what they
we
say.
fucked up the lyrics
So bad.
for 30 fucking years.
Yep.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah. And every song in the 90s was like very inappropriate. Like Peaches and Cream. That was a hell of an appropriate song.
Oh yeah.
Like, bro, you listen to Peaches and Cream now and you're like, ew.
The next Too Close.
Yeah.
You're making it hard for me. Like and the fucking girls singing.
Yeah.
Dude, okay.
Like, so, I can feel your
yes, man. But
and
I remember like fucking
jamming.
Crozier fucking prom, man.
Yes.
Like, and everybody was like, oh
my
The fucking chaperones were like, fuckers. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dude. Speaking of like 90s kind of hip hop, because that's where, like, after Tupac and Biggie died, I was like, I was kind of done, right? And not that I had like a huge kind of relationship with hip hop, because like I remember being in the Bay and I had older cousins, older first cousins on my mom's side, and they were like in Hayward, closer to Oakland, right? So like, but we had fucking all the video games that, because my dad and like Sega Genesis, we had cable, so they could see like MTV Raps and shit like that. And I remember getting slapped the shit out of because I was singing either Mr. Green, Dr. Green Thumb, or Insane in the Membrane.
My name is Dr. Green Thumb.
Yeah, it was one or the other. But imagine like fucking 7-year-old me.
Insane in the Membrane.
My fucking dad. Yeah, man, this big ass hand just. You're not supposed to. Yeah. So yeah.
I used to sit in front of my boombox, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, that was the thing.
And I would put, oh my God, I just totally. What's those rappers that went really, really fast? That rap really, really fast. That group.
Bone Thugs.
Yes. So I would put Bone Thugs, and I would try to write the lyrics.
Oh no, that's impossible.
And then I would and then I would sing the shit out of it once I knew all the lyrics to everything, and I would do that like to most of my like music that I really, really liked. I mean, you couldn't do that with like Busta Rhymes. You just had to go.
Which as your heads can see, that's just like, it's so great. That fucking beat is next level.
It's wild.
Like, I'm surprised they didn't get him to fucking produce the give it up for Naughty Nature. Not because I hate you. Fuck yes. Alex knows what's up. No, they should have gotten him
OPP.
For fucking
right?
You know me. Yeah, 100%. Down with OPP. I still don't know what the fuck that stands for. I don't give a shit. Or fucking tag team back again. Like,
yeah,
there it is. Shit, man. There's so many. Even like fucking Marky Mark. You remember Marky?
I love Marky Mark. Oh my God.
Good vibrations. Yeah.
Yep.
The
other P.
Oh.
Well, that's not that simple.
I mean, that's what she said.
Yeah. No, that's what the song says.
Oh. Fuck. Okay, so one thing I never noticed, that they fucking sampled the fucking Jackson 5.
There's a lot of samples out there. Like
no, but like, in that song, like when they hit the fucking chorus and then it's fucking Michael, it's like ABC.
Oh really?
Think about. Yeah. Like,
who's Alessandro Rodriguez?
Apparently they're tagging them to see what. It's a whole thing. Jamal's the former fighter and manager, so that's probably one of his clients going like, "Hey, this is what Woods does. You should be on the pod." I feel like that's right. But no. Oh man, fuck.
Shit, I thought
Crisscross, dude.
Jump, the Mac Daddy.
Man,
jump.
Yo, I try to fucking put my fucking clothes on backwards, and I took 2 steps and I fucking fell on the face.
I'm gonna tell you something that not a lot of people know, but I used to be a cheerleader.
Okay.
When I was like in elementary and junior high.
Okay.
Right. And our class, our squad had to do the skirt. Well, it's a skirt, so you don't turn it backwards, but our shirts were backwards. And we had to do the whole and it actually worked out, but none of us fell. But that's
nice. Right on. You guys had a coordination.
But we didn't have to wear our pants backwards.
No, I went fucking one step further. I fucking did my shoes.
Oh, well, you deserve it.
Yeah. Well, fuck, man.
Yeah, you deserve it.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was, and I feel like it was right around the time that I had my fucking Kid and Play, like the flat top. I had the flat top. that was both inspired by the fucking black kid on Burger King, but also Kid Reed. Do you remember like fucking Burger King had characters?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that dude and fucking Kid from Kid and Play, they both had flat tops, and I was like, yeah.
I'm gonna be a flat topper.
But here's the deal, man. It was San Francisco, and it rained a lot. So I remember I had my fucking flat top at all of I think kindergarten, first grade, right? And it rained, and it just fell to one fucking side, and I was like, let's cut this shit. Even at 7, I was like, my neck, fucking neck. This sucks.
My neck, my back, my
I mean, that's a.
and my.
And now, if you didn't think that there were connotations there, like it's just whatever. But then you know what? I just saw a video like within the last week or whatever about like this fucking like she looked older, gal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Stepford wife, right? You might guess the ethnic connotations or whatever. And she was singing about like the sweat drip down my balls, and I was like, I mean,
Oh, that's funny because we played that song for Jason's mom one time, and then she was like, "There's safer down my." Wait, what does it say?
yeah,
And she realized that's what it said, and we're like, "We're really singing about sweats going down your balls, huh?"
yeah, no, 100%. That's how they got here. That's it,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, there you go.
But also, yeah, every kid in 2023 has that flat top with curl hair. No, yeah, but well, man, I don't want to be
gonna
like
come
fucking
back.
old dude shouts at the moon, right? But like, if you're of a certain age, right? If you went to the club or
Which I did.
whatever, right? Like, you dressed up, okay?
Yeah.
These fucking kids go in fucking sweatpants and fucking slides. Like they just woke up and they go to fucking club like that. I didn't invent it. I was copying. I was trying to be cool. But
Yeah, I haven't been to a club. It's like, I think the last time I went to a club was for my bachelorette party,
Okay.
and that was in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, 2018. And it was in Vegas, and it was a rooftop, and it was like a bunch of adults.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I don't think I've been to a.
Yes. 100%. Dude, today the haircuts are madness. The new trend is the mullet. Yes. Kids are sloppy as fuck.
No, you want to know what I want?
Yes.
I want to know why these motherfuckers wear a sweater all fucking day. My nephews wear a sweater every. I'm like, dude, it's 80.
Yeah.
It's 80 degrees.
You've
Why
seen
are you
Owen.
wearing
He
a
does
sweater?
the same shit.
I just took my nephew to school today for his summer sessions. Both of them had a sweater on, and I was like, "It's why?"
Yeah.
And then when I'm picking them up, I see a whole fleet of like sweaters. Why are we wearing sweaters? I don't understand. And then I'm thinking, well, maybe the classrooms are cold, right? That's going to be the only explanation. But they wear a sweater everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are we wearing hoodies everywhere?
And I mean, if they knew,
80
right?
degrees, bro.
If they knew, right? Like, because I'm seeing like Carhartts and Champion and shit like that, right? I'm like, you used to be able to get fucking Champion gear like 3 for $10 t-shirts at fucking Kmart, you know?
Okay, but you have a hoodie on because you don't want to burn to death. Because Vegas is brutal.
And
I lived in Vegas for 3 years, and everyone in Vegas wears hoodies.
Well, why?
And that's
why do people even live in Vegas? Why are there people there? It's a fucking desert.
I just moved last year from Vegas, and we got there 2019, left 2022. Yeah, 2022. And it's hot as shit.
Yeah. Yeah. My Uber driver thought I was crazy. No, 100%. I mean,
no, I would have thought you were crazy too.
You made fun of wearing Champion. Now Yes.
Yes, now everybody wants to wear that
Facts, buddy.
shit.
Watch, I'm waiting for fucking N1s to come back. You remember the fucking N1s
Oh my
and
god.
fucking mixtapes and shit like that? But yeah, dude, it's I don't know, man. I don't want to like again, like I don't want to be like my.
I don't
parents.
think kids are smart enough to use any tape.
What do you mean tape?
Because you were like, I can't wait till N1s and tape mixtapes come back.
Oh yeah.
I don't think they'll know how to use any kind
Yeah,
of tape.
no, 100%. It would be like an N1 fucking TikTok or some shit. Like,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
We should do it. Let's see if it comes back. Let's wear N1 and wear or FUBU. Let's grab some FUBU.
Okay.
And
Oh,
see.
yes. Fuck
Let's
yes.
grab some FUBU.
Fuck it. Why
With
stop
your LA
there?
gear, with your Reebok.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or British Nights. You know, some fucking
Nah,
British
you
Nights.
should just sit, pump your.
Yeah, either that or the fucking Ratch decks that they gave on
my
Double
shoes
Dare.
won't stay pumped.
Yeah,
And you guys sit there and.
I remember in school a couple of the people that were trying to fucking flex and shit like that. The fucking thing blew up. They pumped too hard and it blew up, and it looked like they were doing cocaine.
I wear
amazing.
a UFC hoodie everywhere, just to let you know.
What? At the Red Rock, and I'm copying everything. Okay, so did you watch it, any of the UFC, or hear anything about it?
Lately? No.
They just had one, like a big one, UFC 290.
No.
Okay, so this
I actually put on a UFC for like 2 seconds, and my child was way too engaged, and I was like, "Nope, let me change this."
I think
Like I can't, that violence. He's 2.
He's
That all that violence. I was like, "Nah, I don't think we're ready for that just yet."
He's fine. Anyway, so this is wild, right? So the last style bender, Israel Adesanya, right, is a gent that is Nigerian, right? But at some point when he was young, he moves to New Zealand, right? Okay. Yeah. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that, Jamal. I see.
Are you getting the hoodie thing?
So here's yeah.
Okay, hurry up.
So basically, whoa, no. You have to have the backstory.
Okay, go.
So he's Nigerian. His parents are Nigerian, whatever. But at some point, they moved to New Zealand, right? Okay. Then you have this guy named Ducris Duplessis, right? Who's a Anglo person that was born and raised in South Africa. So here's the thing, like the kind of where the line is drawn. Who's more African? Somebody who is actually from like Nigeria that is black, right? And that moves, right? Or a person who was a colonialist somewhere down the line, you know, colonized South Africa, but has lived there all of his life, you know, and Izzy.
I'm gonna say the white person. Just say the white person.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, they're more African than.
I mean, they're there. That's like people asking me if I'm more Salvadorian than American. No, I'm more American because I don't live in El Salvador.
Yes. So basically, that's what Izzy said. So Joe Rogan is interviewing Duplessis, right? And he sees they allow, you know, the middleweight champion Israel to come into the cage, right? And you can see the security kind of like bowing up, whatever. Rogan's just like, what the fuck, and everything. And yeah, so Izzy goes like, oh, nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna happen. This is my brother. That's my N-word. And he drops it. And this is on a UFC pay-per-view. So it's not like it's on free TV where it gets bleeped. No, he drops it.
Okay.
At least a dozen times. Yeah.
Okay, so but that's different, right?
Facts. Oh man. That's Yeah, Izzy's a fool. McMahon needs
I
to send him
mean,
down. I
yeah. I mean, okay. So the N word, that's a different. That's a whole different thing.
okay.
Um, Culturally, though, I think if the white dude's been in South Africa and stuff there, whatever, I think culturally he's more African, not black.
Yeah. Okay. See, here's the thing. And he's like, nah. Izzy is smart doing that. No wrong moves. So for me, right? I don't use it. I was taught not to use the N word, right, or any racial epithets, right?
We live in Inglewood, and as a Hispanic person, we use the N word all the time,
Yeah. No, like
right?
that.
Like,
That doesn't. I teach all my kids. I mean, I've the three older. They use it for sure, and I'm like, oh, God damn it, like.
I mean, I don't use
But
it as much
because
as I used to
no,
before because I really like when I used to be with with the crew with the homies. Everyone was an N word, like yeah,
yeah.
my this, my that, my this and that.
So
But
my philosophy is, and it was carried over from my dad, right? So
mhm,
imagine, do you know the song "Strange Fruit"?
mhm,
So basically, it was a song with a lot of racial overtones, right? Where
mhm,
people were being lynched in a tree, and that tree grows, and it's strange fruit. Okay,
mhm. Okay.
so when you have people that have, like, literally the last thing that they heard in this existence is a mob of people going and 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 right, doesn't matter if it's ERGA, whatever, that's the
Mhm.
last thing that they heard. And don't get into like beliefs and everything like that, because they read the same Bible that these people over here are sitting
Right.
here reading and whatever, and thinking their savior is going to come, and they're like, well, my savior got justice because they in
Mhm.
the tree. Okay,
Yeah.
so
So you see what Jamal said? That's what I'm saying.
if he's not black, he can't relate to the culture
Right.
respectfully. And I
Culturally,
think,
he's not black. But he is more African. That's what I was saying. Like he is more African because he's there, but culturally, you can't. He can't
well, okay, so, and it's
because
funny, right?
no matter where, no matter what country you are, it's that white privilege, right?
Yeah, but
Like,
even people think that's a myth, right? But there's, even that is like kind of a racial connotation, right? Because
but
huh?
we all know it's not.
I mean, there are people that
It's
are affluent,
assumed.
that are, like the people that voted for the 45th president, right? Like, whatever, and they're not Anglo descent.
Mhm.
They look like you and me, you know, or vice versa, right? Like, there people think that, oh, because you voted for Obama, like you're just a Uncle Tom or whatever,
Yeah.
right? But see, I don't want to give ammunition, right? Because I know the pendulum is going to swing back the other way. So if I don't like hearing it, I'm not going to say it. You know, Miklo was a gringo and was accepted into La Onda regardless of skin color. Oh yeah, that's a blood in, blood out reference. I got it. If his ancestors are probably slave owners, I think that's what Izzy meant. No, I mean, if
Right,
you,
but that's what I'm saying, right? So like culturally he doesn't get it. He won't get it, right? But living there, he will actually be more African. That's like
yeah, but that's not
that's
African.
like that's exactly what my brothers tell me, right? Like how are you well first of all, I've never heard someone ask me if I'm Hispanic ever. I
Okay,
don't have an accent. I can hardly speak Spanish most of the time.
okay.
And they've always been like, "Oh, you're white. What are you mixed with?" I'm like, "Well, first of all, I'm not white. Um,
There we go.
Yeah. But so I don't know. I think it's
So, and even okay, like the culture, right? And I
right.
hear that euphemism get used a lot, right? And I reject it, right? Because there's not one culture, right? There's not, just like how, you're like, oh, watermelons for the culture. Well, not everybody has watermelons. There's no evergreen thing, right? A
Right.
song, experience, whatever, that everybody can gravitate to. There's black and brown people that have horrible relationships with the police, and there are some that have great relationships to the extent that they become cops and stuff themselves, right? So, like, to say it's for the culture, like, Ice Cube was on Rogan, right? And even that, right? That's if I talk to people who don't listen, right? People that are close to me, and they go, "Oh, Joe Rogan's a racist," but not really having any context. Yes, he made this horrible Planet of the Apes joke that he knew was bad right off the bat, and he was like, "Man, I shouldn't have said that." And that was like 10 years before they were talking about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the clip of this thing existed for 7 years, right? And this is just my feeling, right?
Right. We've
So
had this conversation about this before.
did we?
Yeah.
Okay.
About how
So,
people 7 years later they bring it up and they only bring up that one clip without everything else.
right. But they didn't bring up that clip. I mean, it had existed for the podcast itself, in its entirety. It was like 10 years old. The clip was 7, right? Rogan got the $10 million or $100 million Spotify deal. Then the COVID stuff, but it wasn't until the COVID stuff,
That
and
everyone gave a shit
yeah, exactly.
because
So
we were
there's that.
bored and we didn't have shit to do.
Yeah. So, yeah, Alex Ramirez, that dude ain't going through what blacks go through. They think he's from England.
England.
Yeah, until he says Africa. I agree with Easy. So yeah, I mean, so
Alex
I would.
Ramirez sounds like a Mexican. Is he not Mexican?
Who, Israel Adesanya?
Alex Ramirez.
Oh, he's of a descent. He Spanish speaking descent, and I never actually asked Alex what nationality is. I just know him as
Is
Alex.
he also a fighter? Are you?
No, he's built like a Mack truck, that one. But he's a
Is
Renaissance
MMA?
man. He does everything in Nigeria. Yeah, Izzy's Nigeria. No, so I would have agreed with Izzy until he uttered those things, right? And
So it
that
is
doesn't
the
make me
white
go
dude
for
from
it.
South Africa.
No, Israel is the Nigerian New Zealander,
Okay,
born in Nigeria, right?
but he's from New Zealand.
Right,
So
right.
he's yeah.
He moved there when he was like elementary school age.
I mean, see, I get that though because I moved here when I was 3,
Right.
and I know nothing of El Salvador. I don't go to El Salvador frequently to I don't understand the culture. I don't know. I don't speak the same way that they do. If I
Right.
speak Spanish, my Spanish is not in the same accent as they do as
Right.
they have. So if you can argue that I'm not Salvadorian. I was born there, but I'm really not Salvadorian
I mean,
because I was raised among Mexicans because that's what Inglewood is most. It's most black Mexicans or every other Hispanic. So, but in Inglewood, you're either black or you're Mexican. Even though you're not Mexican, you're Mexican because that's
Right.
the two things we have, right?
yeah.
So,
Yeah. So Jamal brings up this point. I feel you, Adam. To me, Izzy is just one of those guys who shake shit up, and I think we need this in the sport. But I don't know what's okay. There are so many new rules, and for me, like I said, like I hate to use this as like a soapbox, but like again, if somebody says it back to you, and that's fighting words. So how are you going? Why are you saying it yourself, right? Because if we're fist fighting, right? For fist fighting, and then you're getting your ass kicked, and you introduce a knife. Well, now the rules of engagement are different, right? Now I get a knife. Now somebody's going to get stabbed. And instead of there's a gun and whatever, you keep elevating, elevating, elevating. And the whole thing about it, guns de-escalate or whatever, and that's another story for another day. But like it's bullshit because again, you got a bomb. I mean, right now, you Russia, Ukraine. I got a bomb. You got a bomb.
Yeah.
That's literally what's going
Definitely.
on. And nobody in the middle you get fucked pretty much, right? So with that all being said, right,
Hold on.
the N word and
Wait.
the connotation in which it's used, right? Think of all the things that we could use other than that, right? So I've heard it as a term of endearment. That's my N word, right? Especially like
Right.
Denzel Washington Training Day, right?
Just the way he used it.
Right. And but look, you could have been like my friend, my brother, my a term of endearment, right? And instead of using that, you basically use something with heavy racial connotations, right? For what? And to me, it's not something that you can make good. Yeah, it's not something that you can make good. It has already been done, right? Like just like let's go away from the N word, right? But like the swastika. The swastika was once a Native American healing deal, right? But Germans, Nazis, whatever, they used it, whatever, and it's something that because so much had been done under that, same deal. Last thing that people saw,
right,
and they led into chambers and whatever, is some variation, whether it be flag, armband, whatever, of a swastika. So you can't bring that back. You can't make it good again, right? So with that all being said,
so you don't agree with what's her name, Rosenbar? Did you hear the last thing she said?
No. What did she say?
That the what's her name? Rosenbar?
Rosenbar, Barr.
That the Holocaust never happened.
Okay, I mean, let me get I'll get to that. Okay. So think about this. He's been wanting to do that. You think that a dog collar he could have bought at Walmart for free? No, that was slave.
Yeah, so he's had that in the chamber.
Right. No, 100%. So with Roseanne
he was
Barr,
just waiting
for it
to happen.
100%.
To unload.
Yeah. So, and again, like you could, and to justify it, you could just be like, oh, it's for the culture. What culture? All the Nigerian New Zealanders that like anime? What
she
like,
said, yeah.
So
she said nobody died in the Holocaust either. That's the truth.
Okay.
It should happen. 6 million Jews should die right now because they caused all the problems in the world.
Okay.
But it never happened. So that's what she said.
So here's the thing about Roseanne, right? And the same is true. Wait, so the same is true for Sam Kinison. Do you know about this? And the crazy thing is, Roseanne is Jewish herself. She's whether she practices or not.
But that doesn't mean she's smart enough.
But that's the same thing with the N-word. It's literally the same thing. So like, oh, black people can use it and whatever, right? Well, she's Jewish and she can say inflammatory things about the Holocaust, right? Is
that the same thing though? Is it really?
In my definition, it is 100%. Because you're like, well, I can speak on it because I'm of the culture that was oppressed by this, and I'm going to try and make it good. Same difference, right? And the same thing. People died under those things. N-word, swastika, Holocaust, whatever. People died. That was the last thing that when they met their maker, that's the last thing that they heard.
Right.
In this existence.
So here's a devil's advocate or a devil's.
Yeah.
But here's a quick question. And I don't know if it's even an appropriate question, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Okay.
in this era in 2023, whether you're Jewish, Black, whatever, Mexican that was oppressed and
Yeah.
used also as slaves, whatever, you as a person in 2023, do you have the right to complain? Because it didn't happen to you, right? Like, I think you have the right
Oh,
to
for slavery,
slavery, Holocaust,
Holocaust.
like
I
in general. Do you have the right to complain about it?
I so that right. That's subjective, right? I
Like,
don't
you
think there's.
can't like
I don't think
can
there's going
you
to
be
be.
like, oh my god, my ancestors were enslaved and I
Yeah,
should be whatever.
yeah. I don't. But I don't think that you, especially as divided as everybody is,
Right.
right? I don't think you're going to get a consensus amongst most people, right?
Okay.
Where you've got basically pockets of different whatever, and that's with everything, would it be political, sexual, whatever. You find your niche, and there might be 500,000 of you, but that basically believe that variation of whatever, and you can
Right.
create it. It seems a lot bigger because you guys have mobilized, you found each other, you have group pages that you guys interact, say the same jokes, but like an eighth minutia is somebody that is just different, just like a 16th of an inch of what your beliefs are, and they do the same
Right.
thing and whatever. So again, I don't think that in this culture and the way that we process and our relationship with media, whether that be social, on TV, traditional broadcasts, podcasts, whatever, I don't think you're going to get a consensus of anybody this day and
Mhm.
age, right? We've never been more divided, but it feels like we're connected to a community, but we just find the things about what we like in other people and we gravitate towards that. That's what I feel, right? So, if you talk to jujitsu people, right, all they do is talk to
Mhm.
jujitsu people, and all they hang out is jujitsu people, whatever. They look down on the people that do kickboxing, blah blah blah, whatever, right? And the kickboxers, and so on and so forth, right? And that's
Right.
everything, right? So so going back to the Roseanne thing, her and Kennison were completely different, and then they both had car crashes where it rewired their brain.
Mhm.
Sam Kinison was going to be a Pentecostal preacher before this car crash, and then he just became a wild man. There was a person in Australia, right? Straight heterosexual guy, married for how many years or whatever, and he has a traumatic brain injury, and he becomes gay and reckless. Like, I mean, ended up, basically infecting people with diseases and stuff like that. But it was a traumatic brain deal.
Mhm.
Chris Benoit, right? That's a weird one, right? Like everybody's favorite wrestler until he kills himself and his wife and kid, whatever.
Welcome,
But
kids.
when his father had the wherewithal to keep his brain and donate it, right? And he had the brain of a 70-something-year-old
Mhm.
Alzheimer woman. It literally, he had so much brain trauma that it changed his gender biologically, right?
Mhm.
So again, you're not going to get evergreen. You're not going to get everybody that's watching the same show getting their information, whatever. So to say that, like, oh, just because it happened to my ancestors, whatever. I know somebody that's maybe a smidge German, doesn't
Mhm.
speak it, whatever. They got a German flag neck tattoo, whatever. All these things that might be, and especially with the Holocaust and everything like that,
Mhm.
you people will look at it like, oh man, he's, if not full on Nazi, he's in that swimming pool, right?
Right.
And he's married to somebody of color, right? Mixed babies or whatever. But just like like the smallest
Smidge.
minutia of German, and you took off to the races, right? For me, I know, yeah, and that's their history, and that's to the individual and their relationship with it. That's what it's going to come down to. And you could,
Right.
you remember good times, right? You had everybody, JJ Dynamite or whatever, but the little brother, he was like pow to the people.
Right.
That's three different connotations. You had, the sister who was, like the Tom girl slash, like beauty queen, and then you had JJ who was just crazy, the round the way kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you had little Raj, and he's power to the people, Black Panther adjacent, whatever.
Right.
And then the parents are just trying to, they're living in damn projects. They're just trying to keep their head above water and
Yeah.
everything like that, right? So that to me is a great depiction of all of that, where you're not going to get it. You could be of the same bloodline, you could be, same sexual orientation. Like there's a great Vice piece. It's about an hour long, but they had a small segment, like people just like, oh, people that are of the LGBTQ plus, variety are all liberals because whatever. Nah, man, they had like hard in the paint Trump, transgenders, male to female, female to male, non-binaries, like all sides of the spectrum. And from the outside looking in, you think, oh my God, they're all a community, right? You go to,
Mm-hmm.
Castro in San Diego or
Cute.
West Hollywood here or whatever, and you think everybody believes the same. Or you walk into church, or you walk into a mosque, or you walk into a synagogue, right? And you think
Mhm.
everybody's just there, they believe one whatever, but that might be the only thing keeping them together. Everything else is just, So yeah, it's generational, 100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was, ooh, that was wild.
Sorry.
What was
my
that?
ring. My
Oh.
ring.
Okay.
My doorbell
Um,
ring.
So that's it's up to you and what you do with what you feel your culture is. That's it. If you want to claim El Salvador, whatever, like me
Yeah, I
being
don't.
half black, half Fijian, like it just people know that I'm different, right? They either think I'm like whitewashed, or like anybody that's been to Fiji looks at me and is like, "You're not as big as the other Fijians." I was like, "I know, well, you didn't." Like I got a similar genetic makeup of the Rock. Look at the Rock. Look at me. 5'9". That's all you got, So and I was far removed from my dad's side in Indiana and whatever, because I grew up here in California. Like I stick out like a sore thumb on every aspect of my family, right?
Right.
But I'm proud of all the things that I have, right?
Mhm.
But also in honoring of that tradition, right? Where somebody probably got lynched. There's somebody of the native descent that we're not gonna fucking celebrate July 4th because that was the day we got oppressed. Somebody moving into your yard legally, killing you off, whatever, indoctrinating you to their ways, and you're like, and you're gonna celebrate this thing, and we do it. We do it, that, and then Thanksgiving, right? It's a coming together. But I mean, in our culture, that was a day of tragedy, right?
Right.
That things were never going to be the same, right? So one
Definitely.
person's joy is another person's trauma, and as we move forward in this life, I feel like that just should be acknowledged. You don't
Right.
have to agree with it, just
But there
acknowledge.
has to be some acknowledgement. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, man, we acknowledge you guys for sticking in with us. I mean, it was kind of dicey, but we made it through. And again, you don't have to believe, but we're figuring it out together. Everybody has a seat at the table in terms
Yeah.
of figuring it out. And
Yeah.
if people want to help,
It's one of those
figure,
things where you don't
Okay.
have to, just because I disagree with you doesn't mean that we have to be enemies.
Yeah, 100%. That's the thing. I respectfully disagree. That's one thing that with all of our technology and all the ways that we connect with each other, that simple premise has got lost in the ether. I feel like we should do that again. Be it the person who likes Trump or the Biden or whoever the hell.
Yep.
What is say Chris Buckner for president, bro? Look at Dr. Cornel West. Dr. Cornel West is running for the Peace and Freedom Party. I'm just saying that dude, he literally given his life to service, right? You got Kennedy, you got Marianne Williamson, you got a bunch of people, other than the two old guys that were and are currently there. So we can do better. But speaking of doing better,
Definitely.
how can people do better with you, CC Wade?
You can find me everywhere at this
That
thing at
Right
CC_Wade.
There you go. And I'm According to Woods. Literally, I'm posting stuff. It's weird, right? But I'm getting back to doing live shows again. There was a time where I didn't feel comfortable doing live shows or whatever. But I've been to a couple, and I'm like, I feel like I'm back, and I got my own setup, so it's a plug and play. Shout out to Up Next Fighting, LFA, and Knockout Promotions, who have had me there the last couple weeks. And I have set up Will Travel. And if you want me to travel to your promotion, According to Woods is where you can find me. When I'm not interviewing and podcasting, dumb shit. Dumb shit is what I got. That's what I got. Non-offensive dumb shit put to good music. That's what I got on all the socials. Also, I'm on Threads. That's a thing. Before Zuckerberg and Elon fucking duke it out over which is first, Threads or Twitter or whatever the fuck. Just be on there. I'm on
I
the
just can't
things.
wait for the pay-per-view. Let's see what happens.
Man, fucking, I want to be on the call. Woods for commentary. Come on. Like, let's start that hashtag going on and tweet those gazillionaires, man. I saw what's his face? God, I can't remember. The artist, right? He was a street artist in San Francisco and whatever. Got to Zuckerberg saw it. He was like, man, I like it. You do it at fucking Facebook HQ, right? And then they were going to pay him. And he was like, no, give me whatever you're going to pay me. Just pay me in that same amount in Facebook stock. And that fucker's a millionaire now. So
That's smart.
Yeah. Damn, I can't. He's Korean. He's a popular artist. I feel like it's Eddie Hong. That feels right. But yeah, that dude. So yeah, just like that, right? Let's get Woods in there, and you can pay me in Facebook stock. I know it's down right now. I'll still take it.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it, man. But thank you guys. Just Mario Yamasaki's to you all. No matter what you believe, be a good person to yourselves and each other. And